Prince of Freedom came. Ever since that day, beam hadn't been the same. I cry loud and spare not, I'm not ashamed. Send a storm at them, send some rain, send some pain, that they may all know your name. Yahuwah, the mighty one of Israel. I say Yahuwah, the mighty one of Israel. This is why I was raised, to be a lion in these last days. Make way for his people, we at hand to come. You can't call him any name, there's only one. Yahuwah, the greatest name in the world. I say Yahuwah, the greatest name in the world. Read your scriptures and make this plain. All your church services and worship is vain in these last days if you ain't proclaiming his name. I cry loud and spare not, I'm not ashamed. Send a storm at them, send some rain, send some pain, that they may all know your name. Yahuwah, the mighty one of Israel. I say Yahuwah, the mighty one of Israel. This is why I was raised, to be a lion in these last days. This is why I was raised. I cry loud and spare not, I'm not ashamed. Send a storm at them, send some rain, send some pain, that they may all know your name. Yahuwah, the mighty one of Israel. I say Yahuwah, the mighty one of Israel. This is why I was raised, to be a lion in these last days. This is why I was raised. Yahushua the King. Salvation is what his name brings. Yahuwah is salvation, that's what his name means. Only one name given, so you can't call him anything. I'm standing on his name like Apostle Shaul. These scared to death preachers won't stand up for the truth. He placed me on the rock, I stand firm, ain't running. The wicked will be destroyed by the brightness of his coming. I cry loud and spare not, I'm not ashamed. Send a storm at them, send some rain, send some pain, that they may all know your name. Yahuwah, the mighty one of Israel. I say Yahuwah, the mighty one of Israel. This is why I was raised, to be a lion in these last days. This is why I was raised. I cry loud and spare not, I'm not ashamed. Send a storm at them, send some rain, send some pain.
Call upon his name. Hallelujah. All right, welcome to the broadcast. Jonathan here, thecodesearcher.com. One thing I've been noticing, shalom everyone, I know you guys have been worried about Darla and myself. We are good. Harmony, Victoria, shalom. Shout out to you guys.
Let Israel now say that his mercy endures
forever. Hallelujah. As I was saying, one thing we have noticed, and I am not judging. Let me just say that I want to be culturally sensitive. Okay? Understand. I love the Hawaiian people. But from my observation, they're praying to the wrong deity. Even the mayor. I heard the mayor say right out of his mouth, first thing he does in the morning is he prays to Pele. And my heart just, because I know there is no other name than Yehovah. That's it. And his Messiah, Yeshua. They are calling on the wrong deity, and it's not doing anything. It's actually progressing, folks. 14 fissures are currently open. 14 or 15, or maybe up to 15 now. I'm going to share aerial view of the 13th fissure with you right now. Actually, I just grabbed this, so you're going to be number 2 as far as this video is concerned, because I'm snagging it from the USGS. All right, so let me share this with you. We're going to look at the 13th fissure, which is basically number 5 again, because from my understanding it is open up in the number 5 area. And this is, let's take a look at that. Aerial view of the fissure 13 shortly after it opened this afternoon. The spattering fissure cut across Leilani Street between Kahukai and Pohihi Road.
Earthquake occurred in 45 kilometers north of Kaikoura with magnitude 3.2 status A and a depth of 18 kilometers. Occurred on in an hour. Source GeoNet.
Again, aerial view from the USGS, helicopter. As you can see, the fissure is quite extensive, going all the way across Pohiki Road there. And guys, this is a game changer going in the other direction like this, because just on the other side, oh look at, did you see that? Power lines are going. I did hear word that the water supply down in that area down there has been cut, and they were asking. They were asking those that are still down there to head down to the sea. So, it has, as they've been saying, a fluid situation. I got some other graphs and things we'll go and look at in a moment. Probably some other images that I'm going to get compiled for you on the fly somewhat. I do have some, but there are some that's still coming in. There is a concern, however, I haven't seen it talked about a lot on the local news or anything like that, but I know it's something that the scientists are concerned about, because the same situation happened in 1924 when Pu'u'o'u dropped below the water table, and there was a violent eruption, a very violent eruption. Looks like my live stream is very unstable, guys. I apologize. I'm doing the best I can with what I got. It is jumping all over the place. Looks like it's very unstable. This may not be a long one. Anyway, forgot what I'm saying now. I got some pictures and things to share with you compiled. But it was a very violent explosion, eruption in 1924 with Pu'u'o'u. And let me show you a graphic here really quick. What that is, what we're talking about. So right here is basically what we're talking about with Pu'u'o'u. Is it dropping very low? If you've been watching the video monitor of that crater, this was full of lava. There's a lava lake here at one point, and this is what has dropped down in its levels. It's also excuse me. This is we're looking at Halemaumau. I was saying Pu'u'o'u. I did not mean to say Pu'u'o'u. I'm tired. This is Halemaumau, and like in 1924, the same thing happened where the levels dropped. So all of this dropped, and then Pu'u'o'u also dropped as well. But the thing about it is, in 1924, it went below the water table and caused a very violent eruption, ejecting very large boulders into the area and killing some people, actually. But it was definitely felt in a long distance. This is very similar to Mount St. Helens in equivalency. So very violent eruption, and it's basically because the lava lake, which you've seen, is dropping down so low that the walls begin to cave in. And again, if you follow Dutch sense, you'll recall that this wall caved in. Over on that side also caved in. But we got this piece here that's hanging over, and they just did an aerial flyover of this. And as they did, you can see that this is actually hanging over the lava that's very far down. And guys, this is actually the wall of that. And you can see the readings there. This was not like this all day. This has just appeared. So this probably this cavern is getting larger down here. But if this falls in, you could have a violent, probably a violent reaction to that. I'm sure we've seen several of those through all of the data that we've looked at, that it equates into a very violent reaction. When this debris falls in there, can cause, tremors and earthquakes, but also this falling so low that it goes below the water table. It could be a catastrophic event for this volcano. So that's something that the scientists are looking at. Let's see. Hi, hang in there, guys. I lost my picture. So this is the area we're talking about, the Middle East Rift Zone. Again, down at Leilani. This is the volcano where we're talking about. Of course, all of this is considered Kilauea, guys. I'm not sure if you know that. This whole island consists of 5 volcano zones or areas of Mauna Loa, Mauna Kea, and those on the other side. But this is Kilauea that extends all the way down to Kapoho. We saw this graphic the other day. Hang in there. There is one that I got today, like this one, which is basically showing us the extent of the fissures. So up until probably 2:30, 3 o'clock when the alert went out, we had 12 fissures, but 13 appeared back in this direction, guys. So we had 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, 6, and then 7 jumped all the way back to where 2 was, and then 8, 9, 10, 11 going back up the rift. But now it stopped with 12, and it's gone back the other direction. And what I heard was it opened up around 5. Now there's a lava flow that's flowing in this direction, which is toward the PGV, which is the geothermal place that has the very flammable pentine there. So that is a concern. I got a thermal picture that is quite interesting. We can look at. So here are the fissures. Again, fissure 1. And then where were they? Not even listed on here. So fissure 1, and then fissure 3, 4, and then you see 5 and 6, and then it jumps back the other direction, and then of course 11 and 12 is way back here. But the fissures that are actually spewing and flowing lava are, as you can see, on the 5th, as of the 5th, and I hope they bring another one. It is 3 days now. And I believe 5 is where 13 opened up, and so lava is flowing in this general direction. That is toward Pohiki. Pohiki is also split open, and they have evacuated Punalani Gardens. Nanawali Gardens is also in that direction, guys. So keep that in mind. This is a lot of people that's being displaced. Again, all right. So this is just a graphic from what happened in Kapoho. Basically, the same kind of thing happened. Kilauea.
Earthquake occurred in 5 kilometers east of Hawera with magnitude 2.4 status A and a depth of 146 kilometers occurred on in an hour. Source GeoNet.
All right. Sorry about that. I'm listening to different updates. So we had the eruption that came up in Kapoho, and I showed you that in another broadcast. But this is a little different. We are seeing actual eruption here, a little further up from Kapoho, but just below Pahoa, in that area there. We probably got a better map. So this is the actual topographical map of the area, and incidentally, there's also cracks on 130 over here in this area. It's kind of, it's the other route to Kalapana.
Earthquake occurred in S. Lords FR with magnitude 2.3 status A and a depth of 12 kilometers occurred on in an hour. Source IGN.
Apologies for that. I'm listening to that as it comes in. And again, I believe the 13th fissure, 14th and 15th were down in this area. The others, from what we hear, and this is from the other day, as you can see, we had 1, and then it was 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, and then they extended in this direction as well. But now we are back on this side. You see Naniwali Estates is over here. This is also the area of Punalani Gardens, which has been evacuated and is under a mandatory evacuation. And guys, also this is also the area where the geothermal is. So that is a huge concern. That has always been a concern with locals. They're not particularly happy that this particular plant is there, even though it's an ingenious idea to use the geothermal to generate electricity. The chemicals involved are quite bad. This pentina here is like a bomb, and they had 60,000 gallons of it on site. There's no they say they have moved it, guys, but from the locals that I've talked to, they don't believe they moved it. They just think they moved it to higher ground on site until they were sure which way the lava was going. Because quite frankly, to move something without any need to, like that could be quite costly. So I would imagine, waiting it out to see, like a roll of the dice, really, gambling, to see where the lava's going. But it is going in that direction because this is downhill this way. It's also downhill to the sea this way, guys, which was the hope. But these fissures are actually opening up on the other side of the rift here. As you see, this is the crest, if you will, the highland. So it is coming up here and rolling down here toward the 1955 flow that is in toward Kapoho. Again, here's some footage, images from the other day. Leilani Street, Luana. That is a lot of lava that's coming out, guys. To give you some perspective, these houses are dwarfed.
Earthquake occurred in 15 kilometers southeast of Seddon with magnitude 2.6 status A and a depth of 15 kilometers occurred on in an hour. Source GeoNet.
There's some 35 and maybe 36 houses that have been destroyed, and our hearts go out to those people and those families displaced by this event. Completely destroyed and lost everything. The good thing about, if there is any good thing, is to see the local people coming together in such a way, in such love, and in spite of the tragedy. Incidentally, this is not the first rodeo for Hawaiian people, and that is very evident. That you could see the way they handle themselves, coming together. It's like heroes emerge, like you may have witnessed, like Kaika Marza and some others who are natural leaders of the community and just snap to what was natural to them. They're part of this island and of this volcanic region, and they know it, and they know what to do, and they just reacted. And Darian Barrios, I believe is his name. All these guys behind the scenes. Gabriel from his survival channel on YouTube, also in Leilani Estates, giving us the footage and the images back and the reports back. All these guys are just, to me, like local heroes. And it's just amazing to see and be a part of it. When I was asked, how are we doing? We are safe, guys. We are safe. We are in the hands of the Creator. And I stand on that. We're trying to be helpful and stay out of the way. As much as I want to get down there and report to you, the civil defense is asking that nobody go and sightsee right now. They're locals, or excuse me, the ones dealing with this directly, i.e. their homes are being overtaken and destroyed. They should be the ones with access. And so they're working that out with the police. There has been a level of looting, and that's quite disgusting to see. But there are parasites who will feed and take advantage of those in less fortunate. It's quite disturbing. However, the greater good that has come out of this, as I reported to you, seeing these local heroes emerge, they're just above and beyond what is required or even asked of them.
Earthquake occurred in near south coast of France with magnitude 2.7 status A and a depth of 2 kilometers occurred on in 43 minutes, source EMSC.
Seems the whole earth is ringing like a bell with these earthquakes, as I heard Dutch Sense say. So anyway, it's amazing to see this and be a part of it, like I said. But the prayers should go to those being displaced. And again, Nanavali Estates now, also Punalani Gardens, and hopefully no more. But like I said, from what I've witnessed, we're dealing with some of those who do not know who's in control. Obviously, they're calling on another deity, and I don't know what I can do about it, folks. I mean, I want to go down there and call on the name, teach the name, yet we've got over 1,000 years of cultural background behind it. It's just a way here. If you got the mayor just on public, on the news, say he woke up this morning praying to Pele, that runs pretty deep. I heard another guy talking about his faith was in the gods, plural, that he believed that they were going to protect his house. And I was thinking to myself, wow, it's very sad. So, I would like wisdom on how to deal with that. Incidentally, guys, if you want to pray about something, wisdom on how to teach. Who's really in control? And I almost see that as like a showdown, like Elijah and the Baals, right? Whose power was real, whose was not. Yeah, I see that, Ladybug. I don't know who that is. Very good job. I've tried to, bring out the same information, but they also are doing a very good job. A lot of people covering this. It's an amazing amount of YouTubers that are here too. I didn't realize that, but there are all kinds of different things too. Gabriel, by the way, is a survival thing, so I'm subscribed to him. But there is a few others that are kind of into aliens and UFOs and stuff. I've noticed very large numbers too. Crazy. You can get people to believe in UFOs and aliens, but when it comes to this content that we have, takes a particular person. Anyway, we're doing good, guys. I appreciate you and your concern. We are just trying to be helpful and an extension of the Father's hand and love here, and maintain a school at the same time and a channel. We have, I acknowledge for my subscribers, I apologize that we have seemed to drift to the sensation of what is going on right here just because of our proximity to the action. But this is not our regular content, obviously. But we are here, and so we're going to share it with you. I feel it's probably the right thing to do, to document as much as we can and share it and get the word out. on what's going on.
Earthquake occurred in Chile-Bolivia border region with magnitude 2.24, status C, and a depth of 145 kilometers occurred on in an hour. Source GEMPA.
So again, I'm monitoring what's going on all around. All right, so I think I'm going to end it right here, guys. You know, it's probably quite late where you are. It's only 8:22 here, but I wanted to get something out for you, especially those that are messaging concerned about us or concerned because you haven't seen me. I was going to broadcast yesterday, but I didn't get to it. So here we are, back up. We'll try to get something out tomorrow. I'll update you on what's going on. Support the channel, guys. Share, like, and subscribe. And if you haven't already, please hit that bell so you'll be notified anytime we got some more content for you. So there you go. Shalom and aloha.